because I've seen one too many folks lose their morals solely because these men are Korean. We only had one date, and then he hit me with the "I think I love you." Bro, what? I feel like during the pandemic, the amount of xenophobia that I would say non-Korean nationals experience here was multiplied tenfold. Hey, what's up guys? It's your girl Paige here, Miss Soulful Paige, and I'm back with another video. So for today's video, I am bringing you guys a sort of get ready with me for the Ateez concert. So today is the day of my showtime in Seoul. They already had their first concert yesterday, and today's the second day, and very excited. Originally this vlog was going to be an Ateez concert vlog. Like, I was gonna take y'all around to the venue, show you the different events and merch sales and all of that, but you know, we're still in COVID times, so as per the restrictions, they are not doing any extra things at the venue. Like, they're not doing on-site merch sales or any sort of selling and trading between fans is not allowed. And on top of that, they said they restricted filming in the concert. So I love y'all, I really do, but I'm not about to get kicked out for y'all. I'm gonna try and see, I'm gonna play it by ear, but I'm not trying to get kicked out for y'all. So I thought, why not film a get ready with me for the concert together? I went ahead and asked you guys some questions on my TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, which, by the way, if you do not follow some of those different socials, go ahead and do that now. I'm going to be answering them as I do my makeup. But before we get into that, if you guys are new here, my name is Paige, Miss Soulful Paige, and I make lifestyle and Korea content, whether it be K-pop to K-beauty to just me living my life. So if any of that interests you, go ahead and like and subscribe, and let's get this makeup done. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So today's look is actually going to be inspired by Mingi's Deja Vu pictures, specifically this picture. I went ahead and already did my skincare. We are sunscreened up, so now we're just gonna go ahead and go into this primer by Innisfree, and let's get into the first question. All right, so the very first question that I have on here is, what factors inspire your style the most? These days, I feel like my style has really evolved, and some of the things that I really find important in my own personal style is, one, comfortability, and number two, that whole looking effortless. Something that I can throw on in like maybe 10 minutes, but it won't look like I threw it on in 10 minutes, if that makes sense. And Korea has really helped me to evolve in that personal style, because, you know, when you first get in here in Korea, you see people well dressed everywhere they go, but in a way that looks like it didn't really take them that much time. And of course, sometimes, you know, I may want to look like a bum, but I try to like look like a bum that's put together. A nice sweatsuit set, matching socks, tennis shoes, and then some nice jewelry. So I just picked up a brand new eyebrow pencil from Pony Effect, and I don't know, in Korea, a lot of these eyebrow pencils, they're not necessarily the shade of brown that I want. They seem to be either like an extremely warm chocolatey brown or even like a gray brown, and that's not what I personally like in terms of how my eyebrows look. So we're gonna try this out, and if it looks trash, it looks trash, I guess. Doesn't look too bad. Okay, I can do something with that. Okay, cool. We're good, it works. So question number two. So this one isn't really much of a question, it more so was a permission to go on a rant of sorts. After I got done seeing it, I collected my thoughts and everything. All this could have been avoided. First and foremost, when they were doing the spell, when he decided, oh, okay, Dr. Strange, can you like make it so like everyone forgets about Spider-Man? Instead of doing that, number one, why didn't you just say, can you make it so everyone forgets what Mysterio said? You could have just simply said, hey, you know how Mysterio said this? Can you just like wipe that one little piece out of people's memories? I'm sure Doctor Strange could have did it. it's Dr. Strange. And then second of all, Peter had really just collected his thoughts and was like, hey, Dr. Strange, I want you to make people forget about me except for these few people. Can you make it happen? Because he just overwhelmed Dr. Strange. And then now we got hella villains from different parts of the Spider-Verse just hanging out. Also, I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow, this brow gel or whatever. Another thing, I could never be a superhero because first and foremost, I would not have been on my high horse and been like, I want to help everyone, I want to help the villains, because if they go back, they're just gonna die. I'd be like, okay, and you gonna die if you stay here. Like, I'm not trying to help you, I'm just trying to get my friends and I into MIT. Like, next we're gonna use Fenty Beauty Concealer just to conceal my eyebrows, under eye. And y'all, I held in the emotions up until Andrew's holding MJ, and then she's like, are you okay? And then you could see he wanted to cry because he thought about Gwen, and it was just like, and that's when I started crying. Whew. But definitely a fantastic movie, definitely one of my favorite hero movies ever released by Marvel, so shout out to them. Those of y'all that have seen Spider-Man, let me know how you feel. Like, how did you feel about the movie? Do you also partake in my sentiment that this movie could have really been avoided? A lot of the conflict could have been avoided if they just used communication. But I think these turned out pretty okay. Next, I'm gonna use this top coat here that I got from Etude House. It's called Oh My Eyelash. Technically a mascara top coat, but I use it for my eyebrows. You know, keep them looking nice, you know? So lock it in. And there we go, yes, gorgeous. Okay, so next up is we're gonna go ahead and move on to the eyes. So I wanted to try this sort of neutral but sparkly, glittery look that Mingy wore in these pictures. I'll go ahead and pop it here. But one thing I realized, I don't really care much to do like the under eye makeup. I don't know, it just, each time I've tried it, it just doesn't really look good to me. So I don't know if I'm gonna do much of the under eye portion, but we're gonna try and do that neutral brown eyeshadow look and then all of that. So to do that, I'm actually gonna go ahead, I don't know, I think I'm gonna just do Naked Honey. Yep. And if I don't like it, we're just gonna erase it off. All right, so I think the first color we're gonna go into is with Hive. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that. I don't know why I'm telling y'all every single thing I'm doing like I know what I'm doing when it comes to makeup. And the next question I have is, who are my favorite groups and biases in K-pop? So I would say my most listened to groups are probably Monsta X, BTS, Ateez, Wonho, and for girl groups, it's Girls' Generation. And my biases in each of these groups are, in Girls' Generation, it is Sunny. BTS, it's J-Hope. In Monsta X, it's Shownu, and then of course Wonho. Ateez is a toss-up for me because I'm always going back and forth between Seonghwa and Mingy, so I'm gonna say both Seonghwa and Mingy are my biases. Doesn't look too bad. Don't look too shabby. Like, but you don't look too shabby. No. Just bring it up a little bit because I'm still doing insecurities. Next question, again, K-pop, is what would you say your favorite K-pop songs were of 2021? So I'm not gonna lie, in 2021 I did kind of see myself drifting a little bit away from K-pop. I feel like I haven't really been experimenting too much in terms of new people to listen to, and I should really stop that. But I would say some of my favorite releases of this year would probably be number one, Stacy's ASAP. When I tell you that little ASAP, it gets me going. Out of all the Monsta X releases this year, first of all, the album that I like the most is probably gonna be No Limit. From No Limit, I would say it's Got Me in Chains. It's so good. Like, and Kihyun's high note in that song, like, phenomenal. And then for Gambler, I think my favorite would have to be Secrets by Hyungwon. I got secrets. And then for Wonho, my favorite song he released this year, I love The Lose. I love that album. And Devil, seeing Devil live was an experience. And then Best Shot, and then Stranger. Oh, love Stranger. For Ateez, I think when it came to Deja Vu versus Fireworks, it would have to be Fireworks, and then my #1 song out of like the releases that came out this year has to be Take Me Home. Somebody take me home. Like that sax, it's very saxy, if you know what I mean. When it comes to BTS, Butter was fantastic. And I'm gonna be very controversial right here, right now. Butter cleared Dynamite. Dynamite wishes it could be Butter. I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. But I'm ready for the new album, BTS. I'm ready for the new album. All right, and then some other 2021 K-pop favorite songs that I have. I just pulled up my playlist. If you guys want to know what the full playlist I have, I'll go ahead and drop a link in the description box. I would have to say I'm on the next level. My kids love that song. And then Twice, Espresso, Icon, Luna, Paint the Town, Hot Sauce, NCT Dream. I'm sorry, it's like real catchy. That Taemin, Advice, Weekend by Taeyeon. It was definitely a good year for releases, but I still feel like I wasn't as connected to a lot of the releases this year compared to past years, but it is what it is. We're gonna blend it out a little bit because I'm still feeling kind of iffy on the overall look of it. All right, and the next question we have is, how did you get into a video call with Jooheon? During the Gambler promotions, I applied for a video call fan sign for Jooheon and I got in. So this is a very like hot topic, especially like on Stan Twitter, on how to get into fan signs and things like that. I'm gonna just talk about my experience. When your favorite group is promoting, on their Twitters, they'll usually drop information either in the Twitter or the fan cafe about a upcoming fan call. These fan calls are usually run by certain vendors that sell albums, and you usually have to apply online. And the way to apply is during the period that it's going on, you have to buy some albums. Once you buy these albums, you go ahead and fill out your information, your name, cacao ID, and all that stuff, as well as your delivery information, because you're about to have some albums coming to your house. That's when they're gonna let you know if you want or not. So for these events, I'm gonna go ahead and put in some glitter in the middle of my eye. I'm using the Halaka Magic Inside glitter, and it's in the shade Stella Dust. For Monster X, you definitely have to buy a good amount of albums. Honestly, it can change depending on the member and your group, depending on the vendor too, because some vendors, ooh, that is very glittery, hello. But depending on the vendors, it'll be more random, or it'll be like most albums bought. I do not know how I feel about that. I do not like that. We're gonna get rid of that. To be honest, there's a big range as to how many albums you can buy to get in. For Wonho, when I talked to him, like I think in 2020, I had only bought 2 albums. I've known other people to buy like maybe 5 albums and get into a call, and I've known people that would buy like over 20 albums and would still not get into the fan sign. So I would say, just if you want a better chance, if you have the means, buy a lot more albums. But at the same time, don't always expect just because you bought a whole bunch of albums that you're going to get in. Yeah, I just bought a lot of albums, pray to God, and then I got the notification that I got in. And will I do that again? Absolutely not. As much as I would love to talk to him again, my wallet is like, you can live without it. So I think this glitter is a little bit better than before, because the other glitter was just like, ooh. All right, and next question I have is, what is your favorite K-dramas? So I actually am not the biggest K-drama watcher, but out of the ones that I've seen, some of my favorites include, look at that glitter, child. Look at that glitter just sitting on the top of my eye. I do not like that. But some of my K-dramas include Strong Woman, Kim Bong-soon, some Bong-soon, Strong Woman Bong-soon. Romance is a bonus book. And then of course the new Squid Game. That was, ooh, Squid Game was a trip. I started the first season of Love Alarm, but I've never finished it, or I never moved on to the second season. I don't know, and I heard it was kind of like so I just never really moved on. And then I also really liked this one drama. I honestly forgot the name. I'll put the name in it on here if I remember, but it starred like one of my favorite actors at the time, Jisoo, and then I think Lee Chae-yoon. And it was like, the whole premise was like they were besties, and one of the girls had nowhere to live, so he's like, come live at my house. And then of course they fall in love. And I want to get into this one, I think with Han So-hee, it's called My Name. I want to start watching that. I'm not really the type of person to like watch a drama and then finish it right off the jump. So I'm just not good at finishing shows. I watch shows. Where's my eyeliner at? I watch shows and then I automatically just like, my attention goes elsewhere and then I stop watching it. It's not because I find the shows boring or anything like that. It's just like I have a very short attention span and I never finish things. So, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my Sephora eyeliner just to line the top of my waterline. And let's move on to the next one. And we're going back to K-pop, and that is, what is your favorite Ateez song or the song I'm most excited for the concert today? So my all-time favorite Ateez songs are going to have to be Desire, oh my contact, hello, Utopia, Precious, Take Me Home. Like, those are my all-time favorite Ateez tracks. And I really tried to avoid any sort of spoilers. They had their first concert yesterday and some people were already starting to tweet out what the set list was, and I already kind of spoiled part of it for me by finding out that they are performing Desire. So I'm very excited, but everything else I'm like, I have no idea. I logged out so quick. I am very excited to see Desire, and I really hope they end up doing Precious, Utopia, and Take Me Home as well. All right, I kind of cleaned them up a little bit off camera because I realized I could not talk to camera and do my eyeliner and stuff like that. It's looking a little bit better. I'm satisfied. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and curl the lashes with my eyelash curler if I can find it. And let's move on to more living in Korea type questions that I received. So the first one I have is, what are my favorite places to shop in Korea? Some of these brands you're gonna hear might be repeats for you if you actually watched my fall clothing haul in Korea. So Unique, 𝐷𝐿, as well as, of course, I do shop at Zara here, but the Zara here is definitely different from the Zara back home. And recently I started really loving Rami Story, and I'm gonna go ahead and go with mascara. My friends recently put me onto them and we went shopping together there. And I was like, so y'all have been hiding this from me. I get it.
Y'all hate me.
Shoe brands, I really like Sapun. I have 2 pairs of boots from them and then 2 sandals from them, and they're absolutely gorgeous. I wear them so much. And then jewelry, to be honest, I really just like the little jewelry stores that they have. Usually don't have any special names, but you can either find them in like the underground malls like in Gangnam or Express Bus Terminal, or even just on the main shopping streets of Hongdae and Myeongdong. But they're super cute and they have very trendy jewelry and I just love them so much. Alrighty, I think we are good on the mascara. We'll add a little bit on the bottom lashes. I think that would be a smart move to do. Next question I got from my friend is, what shower filter works best abroad? So for those of you guys that don't know, Korea definitely has some pretty strong water. I think they call it like hard water. And one of the main issues I know a lot of expats, including myself, have had is that when we wash our hair be falling out. And one of the things we always recommend is that you get a shower filter. So one of the filters I got, I'll go ahead and post a picture of it. I've been using this filter for so long. In my shower, you can actually see like if there are any like bad particles or anything like that start to build up. Once it goes through the filter, you know, comes out, it's definitely a lot gentler on my hair, and I've lost less hair with that. And I feel like my hair is less dry when I use it as well. But I definitely feel it's an essential for you to have. Just like lip balm is essential to have for my lips, because they are chappy. So I think eyes are done for now until I add a highlighter on there. And let me just hands off my eyes before I start doing anything else more to them. But overall, it's not that bad. I don't think they're anything like Mingy's at all, but you know, I tried my best. But based on what I got, I kind of like it. So let's move on to the face. So I'm not gonna do too heavy on the face makeup, considering at the concert we have to wear our masks the entire time. So we're gonna do something kind of light, and I'm gonna use the Fenty Beauty Ease Drop Blurring Skin Tint. I'm in the shade 21. The next question I got is, what is your gym experience like in Korea? I've been to 2 gyms during my time here. I went to a local one that's a little bit closer to my house. It's actually like a 5-minute walk from my house. And then I go to currently a gym that's about 30 minutes away from me, and it is more of a chain gym that you can find all around Seoul. One thing about gyms in Korea is that they are definitely more expensive than the gym back home in the States. Back home, you know, you'll have like Planet Fitness, you know, you pay $10, or some places we like $20 a month or something like that. But gyms here are low-key seen as like a luxury. So you'll have like smaller gyms like the one I first went to, And for 3 months, I was paying about 200,000 won, aka $200. That gym itself too was very small. It had more treadmills than it did any like weight stuff, and it just wasn't what I was looking for in terms of a gym. So I stopped going, especially because like, how you gonna charge me 200 something dollars and then not have a lot of stuff in the gym? Like, whereas the one that I go to now, it's called Spoani. For 3 months at Spoani, it's about 99,000 won, so like 90 USD, which is still a lot for 3 months, but vastly better than the first one I went to. And then on top of that, this gym also offers gym lockers that you could rent out. They have exercise classes as well. I do a lot of the Zumba there, and I did one Pilates class there, and that was pretty cool. And then the gym is definitely a lot bigger than my first one, and they have more variety and it comes to the machines. They have a bigger free weight section. They even got a sauna. Well, not a sauna, it's like a stretch room, but it feels like a sauna. That's one of the reasons why I'm like, I would rather travel about 30 minutes from my home and have a bigger gym to go to than to walk 5 minutes and then not get everything I want. Spoani, I feel a lot more comfortable there than I did at my first gym, because at my first gym I was like the only foreigner that went to that gym. So I definitely got a lot of stares, child. The people there were always just not focusing much on their workout like they're supposed to be. They more so focused on me, and I'm like, that's not why you're here, bro. If you came to look at foreigners, just go to Itaewon. Like, you don't have to be here. Spoani definitely has a lot more non-Koreans that come. I do still get stares from time to time, but this time it's usually from old people. I'm very satisfied with the current gym I have now, and definitely if you're looking for a gym in Korea, check out like on Naver and stuff like that, or even just HealthJang, or even if you're in any of the Facebook groups for expats, check on those and see how their experiences are like to decide what kind of gym you want and then like the prices and stuff. But I love Spoani. It definitely could be better, but out of the gyms I went to, it's definitely my favorite option. All right, and then the next question we got is, do you have any advice on learning Korean? First and foremost, of course, learn Hangul. It didn't take too long for me to learn Hangul, and once you learn how to read, it takes a huge weight off your shoulders. And then the next advice I would give to those when it comes to learning Korean is, as stupid as it sounds, talk to yourself. Like, if you're eating rice, you'd be like, 지금 밥 먹어요. If you're annoyed, you'd be like, ah, 짜증나. Like, just talk to yourself. And one thing I used to do is I would watch K-dramas, and when they would say a certain line that I found fun to say, I would just repeat it back. It'll be a character like, say Jisoo is like, 아닌 것 같은데. I'll be automatically like, 아닌 것 같은데. 아닌 것 같은데. Annoying, but it really, really helps. Finding a way to talk to people and being able to use what you know as well as what you just recently learned can really help with confidence, because that was one of the things I struggled with, was confidence when speaking. But when I got here, I just started talking to my co-teacher, just saying something in Korean and seeing if she would respond back or if she would be kind of like, eh? And I'd be like, okay, never mind. Just finding a way to use what you know, whether it be talking to yourself, talking to someone else, was a big help in my opinion. And not being afraid, even if you may not know exactly like, oh, is this the right verb tense or is this the right grammar to use? If it's wrong, they'll tell you if it's wrong, but they'll be like, it's, oh no, it's okay. They'll understand, you're still learning, you know what I mean? And there are so many amazing resources when it comes to learning Korean these days. Like, Talk to Me in Korean is fantastic. I have a couple of their books and it really has helped me. But as I said, I feel like actively speaking and using what you know is gonna help you a lot better in the long run than just memorizing it out of a book. And don't be afraid to make mistakes, because they're only gonna help you get better. The next one I have, this was like a two-parter of like things to talk about, and one of the things they asked me about was dating in Korea, which honestly could be a whole other video in itself, let's be real. One thing that I would advise you to do, and just keep in the back of your mind, if you have certain red flags when it comes to dating back home, keep them while you're in Korea, because I've seen one too many folks lose their morals and ignore red flags solely because these men are Korean. And I'm like, you would not be okay with this if a guy back home did it, so why all of a sudden are you allowing this man to do all this to you here? Like, it don't add up, my good sis, it don't. So definitely try and keep your wits about you, and this is just in dating in general. if it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's most likely is a duck. Okay, if you have a bad gut feeling about something, run with it, essentially. And my dates here that I've had, some have been good, some have not been good. All these men, I will say, I have met on Tinder. The most recent one, we actually met in March of 2021, and honestly, I had some of the most fun dates with him. We're not like an actual like relationship or anything like that, but he was really cool. We're still friends to this day. So that was a good experience I've had dating. The other times, however, some of them weren't that bad. Like there was this one guy I was talking to when I was flying home back to America before the pandemic really took hold in Korea. We matched then, and then he was like, oh, when you come back to Korea, like let's meet up. And I came back and we had our first date. He wasn't a bad guy. We just didn't really vibe well together. After that first date, I like kind of, hey dude, you were great. However, I'm not feeling it. Peace out. The guy before him actually was SoundCloud rapper. Y'all know, y'all know. And then the other guy before him, this is the most common experience I have. Dry. Boring. Our first date was okay. You know, we went out for pizza. It was chill, whatever. Nothing really big stood out. But then our second date, we went out for coffee, and it was just like, when I tell you, we had moments where he would just sit there and just look at me like this, not saying anything, and I would have to lead most of the conversation. It got to the point where I'm over here looking for the bathroom and looking for the exit and seeing if I can maneuver, say I'm going to the bathroom and maneuver to the exit. Like I just, it was just so boring. Like, and then the guy before that, this is the first guy I dated in Korea. We only had one date, and mainly just text conversations. And then he hit me with the, I think I love you. Bro, what? Excuse me? He hit me with the I love you, and I was like, all right, no, I can't do this. Cause things do really move like a lot faster here in dating. And it's too fast for me. It's not for me, so it's okay. I guess if you want advice on it, just don't get too caught up in dating in Korea if that is not what you are here for. Like if you are here to work, get you some money and leave, do exactly that. Don't just be like, oh, well, I got me a man now, so I'm gonna sit. Like, be real about what you want in dating, because it's real easy to get swept up in the dating culture here. Next question I have, and we're gonna get even more serious, is developing relationships with Korean people as a foreigner. If you are just here to work and you're not planning on staying in Korea for a while, it can definitely be hard, because it's like you may not actually get to meet this person forever. You may not actually get to hang out with this person forever. That's definitely a challenge. Being conversational in Korean is definitely gonna help you when it comes to meeting people and making friendships. Whatever hobby you have, find a way to join in with the community here. That can really help you in terms of building friendships, relationships with other people. It's just really in terms of like all friendships, you really just have to put yourself out there, and then also be wary of the friends of the Korean folk that were like, oh, I want to just practice English, because sometimes they may not have the best intentions. They may just want to learn English from you and practice their English skills, and might use you in a way. So make a note of that, as well as be real about yourself as to why you want Korean friends. You could very much well be using them too, just to be like, I have a Korean friend. And my last tip on making relationships and friendships in Korea, just because they say FWB, that F don't actually mean the F that you may think it means if you're just looking for friendships. Now, if you're looking for FWB, go for it. Sis, go enjoy your life. But if you're looking for friendships, that may not be the best way. All right, and I'm gonna go ahead and just finish off everything. Before I answer this last question, I started filming at 10:30. It is now 11:46. And we're gonna add some highlighter to my nose bridge. I'm using the True Complexion Contour Palette by Black Radiance. I've used this ever since I first came to Korea and has yet to run out, so hell yeah. Put on the Cupid's bow, and I like to put it in the corners of my eyes as well, so we're gonna do that. I think I might put this back on in the middle of the eyes too to make it pop a little bit more, just a little bit. Pop it in the brow bone, and add a little bit to the cheekbones. I actually have not been applying it to my cheekbones as much, but it's a special occasion. It's a concert day. Okay, and then we're gonna finish off with some lip tint. So in the picture, he is wearing like a sort of pinky lip. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in with a brown liner. I'm using the Peri Peri Ink Velvet tint in 18, which is Star Plum Pink. So we're gonna go ahead and line the lips real quick because it is kind of like very, very pink. So I like to offset it with some brown. Rub that in. Let's go in with the pink. I just finished my lips, a bow. So I'm just gonna throw in a little bit of gloss. I feel like it needs it. So we're gonna use the Fenty Beauty in the shade Fussy. Nice, I like it. I fucks with it. And let's top everything off with a bit of Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. And they actually ran out of the regular setting spray, so I actually ended up getting the collab they did with 𝐅𝐔𝐒𝐈𝐑𝐈𝐄. So look at this pretty bottle. Okay, so this is the completed look. I'm not gonna lie, they had me in the first half. I had myself in the first half with the eye makeup. I don't hate it. All right, so now that the makeup's done, I'll go ahead and answer the last question because this one was kind of a big question, so I wanted to fully be able to focus on giving you guys an answer. And that is the hardest part about being a foreigner in Korea during the panini. So I came in 2019, so 2019 was definitely an easier time, I would say, as a foreigner compared to 2020. When the pandemic hit, I'm not gonna lie, at first it was pretty easy for me, but I would not say it was easy for anyone that was Chinese or anyone that looked Chinese, because when I tell you the amount of no Chinese people signs I saw throughout Seoul, and even other people would in like other towns around Korea, they would just have like no Chinese, like no this, like Chinese people are not allowed in because Korea doesn't really have a no discrimination law, so they were seen as fine. And it was a very inappropriate and xenophobic way of handling it in my experience. And to be honest, the xenophobia in Korea, I feel like was more heightened. It was always there, but once this whole virus started spreading around, that's when it like was ramped up tenfold, in my opinion. It definitely got a little bit harder especially after when 2020 there was an outbreak in Itaewon. So for those of you guys that don't know, Itaewon is like the sort of foreigner district, because a lot of non-Koreans do go to Itaewon, but Koreans also go to Itaewon too. So I don't. There was a huge virus outbreak that came from Itaewon, and as soon as people heard that it was in Itaewon, they just hear Itaewon and went foreigner. And when I tell you the amount of times I've had Korean people looking at me like, it was real interesting because cause of the outbreak in Itaewon was not even by a foreign resident, it was by a Korean national. So it was just like, more mainstream stores were starting to put up like no foreigner signs. Like there was like a big blow up about this one like cafe that did it, and we were just like, what? Like, and luckily they were able to get called out and they apologized for it, but it was still just like, you really thought that was the move. So I feel like during the pandemic, the amount of xenophobia that I would say non-Korean nationals experience here was multiplied tenfold. It was definitely a really hard time, but I was very thankful I had a support system. I had my friends also live in Korea to talk to. You know, of course, not every Korean was xenophobic and completely terrible to me. And it really helped me find a community of people that I could really rely on. And it also gave me a time to reflect and of myself. And other than these occurrences, I would say I still definitely have enjoyed my time here in Korea. I love my job, I love my students, my co-teachers are awesome, the friends I've made here are awesome, and not everyone is going to be, you know, very like, you know, at you because you're a foreigner. So if you really want to come to Korea, don't let what I'm saying just hard stop you, you know what I mean? Definitely do your research and come to a conclusion for yourself. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I think I went ahead and answered all the questions, and now that my makeup is fully set, we're gonna go ahead and go into the fit. I actually got like the real fit. Like I got the turtleneck, I got the pants, I got earrings. So let's go ahead and change into that. All right, so here is the entire fit. You guys saw in the picture, he wore a black turtleneck. So I got my black turtleneck that I got from Zara, and then he was wearing white pants, and I'm using my white slacks that I also got from Zara. We got these ones that I got from Sapin, which I mentioned earlier. And for the jewelry, he was wearing silver jewelry for like his necklace and his earrings. So I got my little Aries necklace that I got from a store in Myeongdong, and I actually just picked this up. This is a chain earring that I went ahead and just connected to the necklace, because in the photo he had like the earring, but it was like close to the necklace. So I just went ahead and did this for pictures, but it's not practical. And then also he wore a black ring in the picture, and I just also picked this up at the same store I got this at in Hongdae yesterday. And as I said before, I don't think I'm gonna be able to show you everything that is going on, because there really isn't too much, but I'll show you a bit of, you know, the process of getting checked if I can, and the venue and all that. So let's head on out.
우영아, 건우는 내일 올 거야. 어? 건우 내일.
All right, we just got out of the Ateez concert. Oh, she still got it. Bro, we literally waited out here in the cold because we thought we would be able to see Ateez leave. Nope. Nope, they left. So apparently they had already left, and we're out here looking stupid, and the staff is just letting us stand there. And then later on, one of the guys, like, he did the, you know, the thing on his ear and was like, and they looked concerned, and then they left. And I'm like, and then next thing I know, groups of fans were leaving at one time. And then we start hearing words that they twigging, which means like they left. And we were like,
they went home.
That means they went home. They said peace out. They went a different way, and we're out here just standing there, cold feet, got frostbite, you know.
I don't mind that. They should have just said something before they left. They left silently.
Literally the staff, like when they realized that they already left, the staff just kind of walked away. And we're just standing there on the street like with our cameras and stuff out. But how do you feel other than being frozen right now? How do you feel?
Good. That was a good concert. Played all my favorite songs. I'm good.
I told her, I was like, Ateez don't play. They did my Holy Trinity, y'all.
And so. I got waved out by 4 out of 5 members. So I can live my life now.
Not her living her YN life, child.
I was by myself, but they noticed me, so that's all that matters.
She is the new YN, y'all. But we had a great time at the concert, and we're now about to head on home. I'm actually upset. I feel like I should have bought a second ticket for tomorrow. I'm like, I wish I bought a ticket for tomorrow, because I'm like, the post-concert depression is about to hit. But yep, that is all for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, if you like this content, like what you see, click that like, comment, and subscribe for me. And we'll see you next time. Bye. Say bye, Jazzy.
Bye.
Bye.
I think we need them 20 hours. 지나간 시간이 아까워.